Welcome back to the Shred the Spread podcast. This is our week 10 best bets episode for our season long contest. I'm your host, Jared, and as always, you guys get our 5 best bets against the spread each and every single week. But before we get into those best bets, let me bring on my co-host, my right-hand man, my dude. Now, what's going on, man?
Yeah, what's going on, my guy? Back at it again, man. Trying to make another redo after another cursed goddamn 2 and 3 week. Um, man, but I'm feeling good, bro. I'm just trying to go ahead and come back after a great Thursday night. We slammed Thursday night as we usually do, and I'm just ready to bounce back on this best bets week, man, and make this podcast great again.
Yeah, for everybody who tuned into the Thursday night episode, congratulations because there's no way you did not make money if you were in any way or form or shape, whatever it may be. If you had something from the podcast on Thursday, you made money. No ifs, ands, or buts. Bengals money line came up a little bit short, and Gasecki didn't score a touchdown, but pretty much everything else hit. I think we gave out 11 props, and 8 of those hit for sure. I'm not sure if we gave out the Joe Burrow passing attempts, but I played it on my action. For those of you guys who follow my action, you get all the I put all the podcast picks, my personal picks, and sometimes me and Dino will put stuff in together. But you can follow me on action at Jared302. With that being said, Dino, we've got 5 picks to get into it.
Let's go.
Leading us off for the contest, we've got a man that's back on a mission, hasn't played this entire season, and some say he was the first draft pick in many fantasy leagues. You've guessed it. The 49ers minus 6.5 against the Bucks. We really don't have to ramble on too much. We have one of the best players, if not the best player in the league, coming back to one of the best systems, one of the best play callers, one of the best collective units and rosters in the NFL. And he's going to fix one problem. And that problem is closing out games. For those of you guys who have watched this Niners team leading up to the bye, they've been ahead every single game. But in the fourth quarter, they struggle to put teams away and they struggle to win games in the fourth quarter. You saw it with the Rams, and that really opened my eyes to the vulnerability of this Niners defense and offense, especially without Christian McCaffrey. They've got their playmaker back. They've got their closer back. They've got Christian McCaffrey back. Donnell, Niners minus 6.5. What else?
You didn't miss much, man. Not only for them closing games that McCaffrey's going to help out with, he's also going to help with sustaining leads, and that's another big thing too. When you're sustaining leads, your defense kind of plays a little bit more back. They're able to kind of go ahead and pin the ears and get pressure on their defense. And when you got McCaffrey out there and the offense kind of slows down, it's going to help with the defense dramatically.
Yeah, when McCaffrey's there, he makes everybody else around him better.
Mm-hmm.
And Dino said it. He helps them win games. So instead of the Niners in the fourth quarter playing not to lose, they're going to play to win the game still. So give us the Niners with the first pick. Dino, what is the second pick of the week?
Second pick, this might going to surprise you guys. We got Pittsburgh plus 2.5 traveling to Washington to play the Commanders, and I know what you guys are thinking. All right, what are you talking about? You're a Commanders fan. Jaden Daniels is hot. This Commanders offense is on the top of the world right now. But at some point, it does come down. It does. They do come down to a pedestal. Now, I'm not saying they're going to lose the game per se, but to be honest, if you want to talk about value and odds, the way that Pittsburgh is playing right now on defense, the way they're maneuvering the ball down the offense with Russell Wilson right now, and let's be honest, the Commanders defense is still generally weak. Daniel Jones actually still had a pretty damn decent day against the Commanders last week, so they are still vulnerable. Russell Wilson's going to be able to move the ball downfield. Najee Harris is going to be able to kind of expose that run defense because our run defense is kind of light. And all I want to say is it's going to be it's going to be kind of a routinely close game. No Brian Robinson hurts the rushing attack. As you can see last week with Austin Eckler, they weren't as effective in the running game with him out. And on top of that, Austin Seibert, he's questionable in the game. The team signed a kicker for the practice squad, which means A is not. We fear that he might not be able to go. So that kicking swing, you lose that, and so now you're going to be tied. You're going to be tied to basically finishing drives, and score touchdowns. And when it comes down to that against that Pittsburgh defense, it's going to get very, very difficult. No Marshawn Lattimore, of course, he just got traded. So yeah, we still have weaknesses in that defense, and there might get a little exposed.
Yeah, I my biggest thing from this game is this is a spot where we always play Mike Tomlin as a
Right.
dog on the
Yeah.
road
Hmm.
against a team that's hot. This is a spot where we historically have played Mike Tomlin and then we've had success. But there's one thing that really gives me the edge to the Steelers here, and we can give the upper hand to the offense of the Commanders, and then we can give the upper hand to the defense of the Steelers. But on special teams, I can't even remember his name, but that special teams coach or coordinator
No,
for
Danny
the
Smith. He was a former
Danny
Red.
Smith,
Yep, yep. Former
dude.
former special coordinator. Yep, former for the
He
Redskins too.
has
Yep.
that special teams on the Steelers
Hmm.
all over the place. I mean, I can't believe it. The drive he brings to the special teams, the way they celebrate getting stops and blocking field goals and returning punts, like they're all over him. He is such a force. He has that special teams cruising. So on a game where it's going to come down to the minuscule and the very small margins, I'm giving the edge to the Steelers here. So this is going to be a coin flip game. We're going to follow historic, and we're going to take the Steelers at +2.5. I'm going to play them at 3. I love them at 3. Like
Yes.
3 is
Three. Three. Yeah.
such a great number, and I think the books did a really good job of setting that number because that's exactly what I think it's going to land on. But in a game where it's really even, I'm gonna slightly give the edge to the Steelers, and we'll see what happens. It's gonna be a great game. Gonna be a very entertaining one. But we're gonna take the Steelers +2.5 in the contest. Third pick of the week is kind of not necessarily a free square, but we have to take this value. For those of you who know we do the contest, our lines lock Tuesday night, really late Tuesday, and this line locked before the injury news for Trevor Lawrence came out, where he's going to be missing this game and potentially the rest of the season. So we took the Vikings -4.5. They're playing the Jags. They're playing Mac Jones. Mac Jones' first game back, his basically career redemption, is going against a team that is going to all out blitz him all game. And Mac Jones is going to be a sitting duck back there. Brian Flores is going to make him struggle. He's going to make him have to get the ball out quick. And we saw in New England with that poor offensive line where they weren't even blitzing. Now he's going to be facing a team that's going to blitz him nonstop. He's going to have to make quick reads. So a guy that hasn't had any game action in almost a year, he's going to have to step in there and go against a team that's probably the worst matchup back for a career resurgence is the Vikings. So we got to take the Vikings -4.5 in the contest. I mean, there's not really much to it, Dino, right?
Yeah, no. And this time I'll try not to stutter trying to say that Danny Smith was our former coordinator. So I'm gonna try to say it nice and easy this time. Um, I mean, let's keep it basic and simple. Mac Jones against the blitz, awful. He was awful when he was with the Patriots. The Vikings offense has too many weapons to kind of help facilitate with Sam Darnold. Like you said, take the value for it. It's at 6 right now. Like I said, this line came out before the Trevor Lawrence news. Yeah, bro, just take advantage of it. There's really nothing here to say.
Yeah, Vikings are in that category this week of teams that you can tease. So the Niners are a good team to tease. The Vikings are a good team to tease. The Eagles are a good team to tease. The Chiefs are the fourth one that I like. So they're kind of in that realm with all those other teams. So like the Vikings, we like the value. We got to play it in the contest. Dino, give them the fourth pick of the week.
The fourth pick will surprise a lot of people, but maybe not because we always go back to our guns,
Always
man. We're,
sucker.
we're gonna go. We're gonna get suckered back into the Jets minus a half a point going against Arizona. But the biggest thing I think, the biggest thing that I believe is going to be the difference here is when me and Jared talked about it. Hassan Reddick coming back to put pressure to help that defense out and help that secondary out. Right now, right now, I believe you're going to see the Jets peak football. You're going to see the best of the Jets here and right now, starting this week. The problem is, I believe it's just a little too late. I feel like it's going to be a little too late for a playoff run. Maybe they can get that 7 spot, but I kind of don't see it right now at this moment. Um, And let's be honest, go. Arizona is a roller coaster. Okay, they're prone to getting blown. They're actually prone to getting blown out this game. To be honest with you, um, they're just the thing about Arizona is they're competitive. They try to compete, but there's some games where Kyler Murray decides to play Call of Duty for late one night, and he just forgets to how to play fucking quarterback. There's times where they deal with injuries with James Conner or whatever. But to be honest with you, the Jets should be able to handle this Arizona team. That's what I honestly believe. And I mean, think about it. Aaron Rodgers and all those weapons going against Arizona, backed by a good defense and a good run defense. Now that Hassan Reddick is there, trust me, I think this is a no-brainer here for Ray.
Yeah, there's a few things that kind of tipped me over to taking the Jets, and um, Dino mentioned one of them. It's Hassan Reddick coming back. You saw it. He hasn't missed a beat. The guy came out there. He's beating his block. He's getting in the backfield, and against Kyler Murray, he's almost like Lamar Jackson esque. Yeah, you can get in the backfield and make him run, but he's just as good on the run. So my other thing was, this is a big game, and I need to see it. And in order for the Jets to succeed in getting stops, Sauce Gardner is going to be the X factor. This is a
Mhm.
guy who kind of plays with emotion. He plays with his heart on his sleeve, and he's had a couple rough weeks. So now he's got something that he kind of has to circle and get ready for, because he has Marvin Harrison Jr. coming uh, into the backfield, and he needs to really step up because this guy is no slouch. He is a all-world receiver. He's going to get his targets. And Sauce Gardner has to lock down, because we've seen time and time again Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. Connect early, and then they start to put teams away. The Jets have to come out there and make a few stops in order to really get a handle on this game, because you guys know the Jets for some reason start off so slow. I I don't know how many games I've seen where the Jets go out there and start off three and out, and then second half comes and they are moving the ball downfield. So Aaron Rodgers, you've got all the playmakers that you could imagine right now. Like, there is no weak spots on this offense besides a few gaps on the offensive line, but this is one of the better offensive lines you've had in your career. There are no excuses anymore. Every single time the Jets struggle in offense, the first person that is going to be blamed is Aaron Rodgers. And you know how his ego is. He cannot take blame, he cannot take uh, accountability for stuff. So I really need to see the Jets as a collective, offense, defense, special teams, step up and really handle this game, because top to bottom, the Jets have a more talented roster. That is a fact. If the Jets come out here and look like a fool versus the Cardinals, I think it's going to get ugly in New York. Not only with Aaron Rodgers, with the future of Devontae Adams. I mean, Garrett Wilson might be working his way out. You have, like, people were calling around for Garrett Wilson. So I know the trade deadline has come and gone. But if the Jets don't turn it around soon, they are going to have an extremely ugly offense or offseason. And as you guys know, Aaron Rodgers' career window and his career opportunity to win is closing fast. He doesn't have a lot of opportunity left. So he needs to treat each game like it could potentially be his last meaningful football game of his career, because quite frankly, the Bills have looked incredible and the Jets have looked subpar. I mean, I said the Giants because I mean the damn Jets are down there with the Giants right now. So the Jets are in desperation mode. They have to
Mhm.
win. That's why we like them. There's a lot of key pieces that we need to happen here. Give us the Jets minus half a point against the Cardinals.
You know what's funny about that? And they do share the same field. Makes a lot of sense.
That's yeah. See, Jets Giants. I mean, at this standpoint, it doesn't matter. But
Right.
the Jets have too much talent to fold and just fall over. Like, they have to step up. They're way better than the Cardinals, and I need them to show it this week.
Spokesperson Jared for the Jets.
That's right. We have another darling of mine coming up next, Donnell, but I'll let you do the honors.
Yes, sir. We're gonna invite the bromance between Sean McVay and Jared here. We're gonna combine that, and we got them -1.5 home favorites going against Miami. And I get it. The Miami's offense has been looked encouraging. I would say encouraging, but that was also against a roller coaster of a team in Arizona, and their defense has completely looked weak throughout that whole game. They were allowing the Cardinals to stay in it, and they allowed the game winning drive late in that game. Now we got the Rams here, who has Puka Nakua and Cooper Cup back. We've been talking about them the last 3 weeks. We've been said that we're going to start on the run. They're on the run now. They're going to continue the run, and Kyron Williams is going to continue running his way to being an All Pro this year. And I mean, this to me, this is kind of a no-brainer. I actually got this around like 3. I feel like because of Miami's offense, they kind of got a little bit of a hook there because the offense looks like it's somewhat back with Tua back, second week back, kind of getting things right, and I get it. But this Rams defense has not been slouches whatsoever. That defense has depth. That's why they're competing in games. That's why Puka Nacua, Matthew Stafford, and Cooper Cup is allowed to do their thing. And all they got to do is play that nice Sean McVay tune. Run the ball, play action, deep ball. The same type of offense that he's played in Washington and all his stops. And honestly, guys, like I said, I'm gonna join. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm damn near with the bromance too. Shit, it's me, Jared, and McVay. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I think these are two teams trending in opposite directions. Um, Rams won last 3, covered their last 2, and you kind of saw it last week where historically we would have played the Seahawks, but there's just something about this Rams team with getting their
Yup.
playmakers back and Matthew Stafford
Mm-hmm.
still playing at an all-pro level. He is just so solidified and comfortable in this offense right now because he has Kyron Williams that is such an Iron Man and can run the ball consistently and get yards and get second and decent, third and short. And when you can run the ball, Matthew Stafford goes to his biggest weapon, and that is the play action pass. So not only does Matthew Stafford get to just sit comfortable in the pocket because the Dolphins do not sack the quarterback, they rarely get pressure. So he's going to be able to sit comfortable in the pocket, pick this defense apart, and now you have to determine whether do we double Cooper Kupp, do we double Puka Nacua. It doesn't matter because even Robinson last week was finding his way open with no Nacua after he was ejected. So two teams trending in opposite way. You get basically Stafford, and he's going to be the most comfortable he's been all year, and I just don't see a way for this Rams team to just get stopped because in the red zone especially, these two teams are polar opposite. The Rams are aggressive. They thrive in the red zone. They score points. I mean, they score touchdowns at an insane rate. The Dolphins seem to stall out. They go really they try these pretty plays, the motion with the handoffs, and like they almost do too much. So they try to get too cute in the red zone. The Rams are more hard nosed and they get downhill, and they make you pick your poison. So I think the Rams are going to convert in the red zone a lot more than the Dolphins do. I think the Rams are more disciplined. I think that defense is playing really well for the talent that they've lost over the last few years. They're playing really
Yes,
well.
most certainly,
And
most
as
certainly.
long as the Rams can contain the run, I think they'll be okay. So give us the Rams -1.5 against the Dolphins. Prime time to round us up. We've got the Niners -6.5, Steelers +2.5, Vikings -4.5, Jets -0.5 point, and the Rams -1.5. Dino, that'll do it for us. Any last words for the listeners?
Same message as always, knuckleheads on every end of the episode. To make sure you guys tune into X and follow us on that platform at Shredder Spread underscore. Damn, I botched that the fuck up. And follow me at Dineezy. That's at DYNEEZY. And guys, we have been hot on Thursday night football. That's been our bread and butter so far this year when it comes to props. Make sure you guys tune in to, let's be honest, the battle of the podcast here. We got the Commanders and the Eagles coming up for the next Thursday night football game. So you best believe we're going to bring the energy, the bets, and the money home when it comes to Thursday night football this week.
Yeah, me and Donnell go head to head next Thursday. You don't want to miss that episode. We will record that most likely Wednesday night, and you'll get that late Wednesday, really, really early Thursday. We'll give you props, sides, totals, and a lot more. Thanks again for tuning in to the Shred the Spread podcast. This has been our Week 10 Best Bets episode for the season-long contest. Until next episode, we'll see you.
Peace.